What can I say about the Explorer II? It's an extremely underrated watch. This is not the first, second, or even third watch that springs to mind when thinking about Rolex sports models. Why is that? I'm not sure exactly, but with the recent hype and scarcity over Rolex sports watches, the Explorer II has started to receive some of the attention that it truly deserves. I feel the sizes of Rolex sports models are best when kept to 40mm or less. Of course, that is a very subjective statement based on my own wrist size and how these watches fit me. It is not only the size or the lug-to-lug width, but also the thickness of these watches, now often referred to as neo-vintage, that make them wear so well. Even though the reference 16570 is no longer in production, several versions have come and gone throughout its lifetime. The earlier versions with tritium lume, then the more modern ones from the early 2000s with luminova, as well as different movements, the 3185 and then the 3186 towards the end of its run. This particular black version does have the later 3186 movement. As you can see, the way to figure that out is when you move the hour hand. The GMT hand does not wobble. Comparing that to my Pepsi GMT with the 3185 movement, you can see when I move the hour hand, there is a bit of wobble in the GMT hand as well. Apparently, the 3186 is considered more collectible and a better and more upgraded movement, which had a fairly short run before the 5 series was totally discontinued in favor of the more modern 42mm versions. For the 16570 Explorer II, the white dial has always been more sought after, within which the white dial with tritium lume, especially the one with the creamy yellow patina, also known as the custard lume. So where does this leave this black version of the Explorer II? I think it does have its magic. This watch came to my mind right after the release of the recent Black Bay Pro, a very well done watch by Tudor in many respects, but it just fell short of what I wanted the watch to be. First off, I thought the snowflake hands of the Tudor didn't need to be repeated on both the hour hand and the GMT hand. I wish they had kept them separate, similar to the early Explorer IIs. Additionally, the thickness or the height of that watch is probably a little bit higher than what I expected. Having said that, I did wear the watch and it did sit well on my wrist. Many of these things are more in the mind, and I believe that if we like something or really want something, we find excuses to justify it with things like data, personal preference, or just random thoughts. Ultimately, what matters most to me about this watch or any other watch or watch collecting as a whole is that something about it connects with us and makes us want to own it. As you've already seen in a few of the other videos, one of the first things that I do is replace the bracelet with a leather strap. There are a few reasons for this. First of all, I wanted to add a little bit of fun to the look by having a strap with red detailed stitching on it. Matches the red hands on the GMT, of course. And secondly, I wanted to tailor the strap to fit my wrist better and just have the 2 holes that it needs. As an added benefit, the original bracelet is preserved and stays in good condition over the years.